Hey, what's up, guys? I thought you were able to hear me this whole time. Good evening. How are you? I just realized I wasn't in my own stream. Hello, Blue Shirt. What's going on? And something. Marty, Longshoreman, Justin. What's up, guys? Thank you for joining me. I'm humbled by you sparing your valuable time to talk about watches with me. I hope your Monday is going well and your evening is starting off to go well, and that your weekend was great. Hey, I think we're waiting for Bud the Stud and Clive Wrangler, but we'll see how that goes. Anyhow, I thought today would be a good time to tackle the topic of the Rolex bubble and whether it's popped or not. You guys interested in maybe checking out some prices? I just got an idea of checking out some historical pricing, and I thought it would be a fun idea to go over it, and maybe we can all share our thoughts together as to what we think as to whether or not indeed has the bubble popped or not. Blue Shirt, no bubble bursting. No bubble bursting. He's already saying that. Well, Blue Shirt, I'm going to agree with you. After I took a look at things as well, I kind of I'm of the same thoughts. What's up, Wrangler? Good evening.
Good evening. Hey, Rich. Just got back from a meeting.
Good. I had a really busy day today. I actually worked about 7 hours today. I had to bust my butt, including
I can tell. Probably got a crack at it.
Yeah, including driving all over to heck and back. So, but I made it, and I'm here. So anyway, let's talk. I want to stick to the topic at hand, and thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you and your time. Has the Rolex bubble popped? And that's what I want to talk about. I don't want to, and to be clear, I don't want to waste time talking about if it's going to pop, what the future holds, because it will eventually, and we all know that's just a recessionary thing.
No, I even disagree with that. It will not pop. It will not pop.
Okay.
It might deflate. It might go back to where it was, say, 2015.
Okay. Right. I agree. I'm of the same notion as you. Sure. Let's see, who do we got?
It's not like in 2021 they'll be distributing Rolexes in vending machines.
Correct.
Buy one, get one free. No.
Justin Bailey, the bubble hasn't burst yet. It wobbled a little. Sure. Epstein's neck burst more than the Rolex bubble. My favorite literary character, John Galt.
Who's John Galt?
The bubble has not really burst, but the super gray market bubble has slightly deflated.
It's as if someone stopped the engine of the world.
Okay.
Never mind. Anyway,
so check it out. Here's where I'm at. Here's what I set up for us. I thought it would be interesting to look at. So let's not mess around. Let's get into it.
Ooh, pretty.
Okay, that's showing up all right?
Yes.
Okay. So what I did is Chrono 24 has the ability for you to input your watches or to input any watch and then to check out its market history and to compare it. And I thought that would be a pretty good source of data because I believe they're going by their true listings and their true sales. Wouldn't you expect?
You know, I kind of hate to say it, but I kind of like that is a source. But on the other hand, I kind of like Watch Recon as well.
Okay, so what I was thinking here is that basically using it as a guide. And if we take the Hulk, for example, basically what I'm looking at is when you look at the graph down here, let's say here's a 6 month charting of the price of the Hulk. And there's the I don't know if this is the median line or the mean, the average. This would be the average in the middle, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Not sure what numbers exactly they're using it or how they're coming up with it, but let's just say it's the average. I was looking at these, studying these a bit, and I believe an accurate depiction of the price is the bottom of this curve where my arrow pointer is. If we follow the bottom here, the price here seems to be pretty reflective of the true market. So, for example, today.
Actually, wait. Do you want to have you sent Mark Goldberg a link?
No, I don't have his email.
You mean send it to him?
Yeah, of course, sure.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about following the bottom.
So, for example, how much do you see a Hulk going for today? I figure we can talk about this, guys. You want to spit out some numbers, realistic numbers? Do you know how much a Hulk goes for today? Is this the true price up here on Chrono 24? Well, this is Chrono 24 right here. They're telling you 15,038, and there's the estimated value just beneath that, 14,278 to 15,8 as the high. Okay, so
no, I'm sending Mark Goldberg the link as we speak.
Okay,
Speaking of spitting out.
So I mean, I believe, and I don't know how many of you would agree with me that these pricing estimations up here for the Hulk are extremely accurate. 14,278. I think that's fair to say that that's what a Hulk is worth on the low end. Would you agree, disagree?
I would have no reason to doubt it either way. I mean, I kind of hate to say it. It's gotten so the market is getting to where nothing surprises me anymore.
Okay, so here's my I'm going to just share my revelations of what I found by looking at this data. Basically, as we go through each watch, you're going to find that they're pretty much gone flat. They really haven't gone down much, maybe about 5%. But on the contrary, some of the watches have actually gone up. So if you want to pick and choose Rolexes to say that they've taken a breather, you can do that. But I can also pick Rolexes that have continued to appreciate and come up with an opposite argument and say, you know what, go screw yourself. There hasn't even been even a slightest decline in any Rolex prices. And I can show that to you by going to the most popular one, which is what I said earlier. I put this in a comment on your screen. I put this on a comment about the Submariner. You remember what I said?
Oh,
about the Submariner?
Yeah.
Okay, here, look. Hi, bud.
And if we're
Hello,
talking
how's
about
it
watch
going,
finder
guys?
style, though, because I still hate to say this, let me address that real quick.
Yeah.
To me, they simply went from Jesus freaking Christ, are you goddamn kidding me prices back to the oh my god, the normal oh my god price.
But it depends what you look at, because on one of the last live streams we were talking, I said the Rolex Submariner date, when I priced it to sell mine, it's higher than it was when I priced it 6 months ago to sell it. And then I pulled this up today, and the data is in line with exactly what I've experienced. So
is this on Chrono?
Yeah, this is on Chrono. So here's the 6-month chart of a sub date. So look at how it's gone nothing but up. It hasn't.
Well, Crown and Caliber, I just checked their page. They're now selling ceramic Daytonas for $16,000.
So here's the which ones?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I was
They,
gonna say,
you know, with box and paper, without box and papers, dragged through fucking dirt.
I was gonna say, hold on,
So,
guys, I'm going over to
They're
Crown Caliber
19,000 all day long. You know, but look at, okay, so facts number one. I'm gonna look at the 3-month chart of the sub date. It's higher than it was at the beginning of this chart than it is at the end of the chart. It's higher at the end than it is in the beginning. So it starts at 10,493 and it ends at 10,643. So in 3 months, the sub date has appreciated. In 6 months, the sub date has gone from 10,000, which is what I'm selling mine for, 9,900 with a Rolex warranty hint.
Almost like brand new after getting it right back from the Rolex service center.
Well, look how perfectly mine's priced, because on the high end, right here, the average is 10.6. The lowest is what would this be?
That's like practically getting a brand new watch, isn't it?
10,003. So at the low end, a sub is 10.3 today. Oh, anyway, you can see the 6-month chart again here. It's any way you look at it, it's going nothing but up, nothing but up.
I find what Chrono can tell you to sell it for, and what you can actually sell it for is a different story.
No, that's not what's going on here.
Okay.
Because I've priced my sub at a higher price today than when I considered selling it 6 months ago, because they've gone up.
Now, Rich, what are you flashing on the screen? I'm sorry, who's?
This is Bud.
Oh, hey, Bud, what are you flashing?
Hey, Clive, that's the Breitling Premier.
Nice.
Hey, and you know what else, Bud, I'm looking at too, is regardless of that, what you can sell, we're looking at, even if you look at the low part of the spectrum, that bottom zone, where it's at 9,000, like right here where I'm putting the pointer, it's at 9,700, 9,600 right here.
Oh, hey, speaking of the low point, speaking about points in the spectrum, I'm going to send Don Haynes a link.
Okay.
That
would be fun.
Yep.
Now, actually, you know who you really need? Okay. Collecting vintage collecting Rolex watches or something, or you know, our Archie super hater David Breen. That guy is hellaciously tracking Rolex prices.
What are you wearing, Clivers?
Oh, me and Bud are Scheitling brothers.
Oh, okay. Should be a Rolex night.
It's good to take a shit together every now and again.
Exactly.
You can actually see the green on mine tonight.
Nice.
I'm so happy.
I'm hopefully going to get my strap in from Arena Combat Straps probably on Wednesday.
Now,
I'm excited you can see the green actually. So.
Oh, that is nice.
The next one I was going to pull up was the day dates. Specifically my day date, because basically I know my own experience, you know, just like I've been paying attention to the Submariner date for the last year very carefully. So I can kind of, I kind of agree with what Chrono's showing here. And then this is my 18238 day date.
So is there anything in the market that bases prices off of how long it actually takes you to sell, or no?
What is that? What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Like, so if you're going to sell at the top of the spectrum, do you think it'd take 2 months? Do you think it'd take a month, a week? Is there anything that kind of judges that?
Hard to tell, but I think right now this is the time to sell.
Yeah.
So it says here that their values are calculated. This includes final sales prices as well as current listing prices on Chrono 24.
And then you got to pay a percentage of that, right?
We also take the prices of past listings into consideration. In addition, we use the sample variance to calculate a range of probable value for your watch. Look, what they're coming up here for historical pricing and such is going to be more accurate and closer to market than anything you or I could come up with ourselves. And I don't see nothing wrong with the data. I mean, why would you want to argue with this data? It's real data, So,
well, to quote Mark Twain, there's lies, damn lies, in statistics.
Well, to quote Clive the Watch Wrangler, the bubble isn't bursting, it's just slowly been let out of air, right?
Only in the ultra premium watches. I mean, like I said, a sub date's gone up. It hasn't gone down $5, it's gone up 1,000. So how did anything go down? You got to pick and look. Patek Philippe, you want to talk about a bubble bursting? Patek Philippe, if anything, a bubble burst, and Rolex is still going.
Well, yeah, we know that Archie's got 5 of them. So
here's
Archie is the horned vulture of horology.
Here's the Daytona. Okay, here's the Daytona. It's still priced. This is brand new. Do you think you could get a brand new one for less than 24? 23,878, what it says here? I know you're pretty good at getting watches, but I'm curious, have you seen anything lately close to this price?
I had an offer the other day of 21.5, which was the lowest it had been in a couple months. But that was because one guy had to, he wanted to buy it for another guy and stuff. And anyway, just a bunch of baloney. But yeah, it was 21.5. But most of them that I've seen are 24, 25.
So again, if you look at a 6-month chart of this, what does this 6-month chart say? That they've done the opposite of go down in 6 months.
I think the only thing that they've done is just kind of not sell as quick. That's the only thing that I think that I see that's really happened is they're not quite. But I mean, the 3 guys that I talk to that I buy from, they're not really going down on their prices now.
I mean, the only thing that's bursting are pimples on people's butts. I mean, show me a watch for a good deal and I'll buy it. That's where I'm at.
Well, you can get like a limited edition Breitling off their website.
I wonder if they still have that one left.
I'm actually looking as we speak.
I almost bought a limited edition JLC Polaris the other day. I really came close to buying one of them. Have you guys seen them? I know I showed you it, Rich.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen them, Clive?
Which one again? Sorry. No, they've still got one.
Really? They still have that one left?
I
You're
presume
kidding me.
they have
How funny. That's funny.
Well, let me see if it'll let me add it in my bag. Yeah,
here's
it's
the Aquanaut. Check it out. Here's the Aquanaut.
Yeah, the Aquanaut's still showing about the same as what it's still showing pretty strong.
Now this is what I wanted to ask you about here. So this is showing a new Aquanaut. You know, what would a new Aquanaut go for?
That one's new?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what they go for new, or it's too high still?
And 40, no, that's, I mean, I
41. Look, you go with the estimated 41 to 46. That's the range.
You can buy them 37 to 41.
Correct.
You know, that one's pretty high.
Correct. So I don't know what the deal is. Display offers. Let me see if I display the offers.
Well, I mean, that's some guy probably over in, over in another country that you'll never buy off of anyway, and so that's where I find the really high prices.
Right, and sometimes you
these are the averages.
Those are the averages?
Yeah.
That's because you've got 10 guys at 50,000 that'll never ever sell them.
Well, let me put it this way. I have reason to expect Adrian's going to post a follow-up video. And I'll just leave it at that.
So check this out. Here's the Aquanauts.
Yeah, see, in the USA, they're 36 to 39, you know.
So Patek's gone down quite a bit.
What's gone down quite a bit?
Patek. From its top.
Well, yeah. Because I hate to say, but okay, even if the bubble doesn't burst, even if it doesn't deflate, there's only so far that even a bubble can go. There are limits, and at this point, I think we're kind of reaching the limits.
I think what you said the other day, Clive, I think is the exact truth. Until you can walk into a AD and buy the watches that you want to buy, it's never going to go back. It's never going to burst.
Right.
That's because you just can't go in and you can't buy anything. There's no steel sitting in an AD. You have to know them and you have to ask them to bring you something out.
Okay, now you see, all of the Rolexes that we looked at so far, none of them went down in value. This is the only one we've looked at that shows it a little less than before. And we know why the Batman is a little less before. Because it has a competitor with itself. The Jubilee Batman. So it threw in, as soon as that came out at Basel, the price of the other one went down
right.
like $3,000. Well, so that had nothing to do with supply. That had to do with supply demand directly, not because of the watch market, but because another watch was introduced that they wanted over that one.
Yeah.
And that's reflective of this 6 month. It's reflective of the variation. The hype has switched to the other watch. It's switched to the Pepsi. There's two watches taking market share from this one watch now. A Pepsi and the Batman Jubilee.
They're ganging up on the Batman. That's not fair.
Right? It's exactly what's happening. So Rolex is splitting market share between those three bezels.
Okay, but let's look at it from this way. Rolex doesn't give a shit about secondhand values on the let me put it this way. That's not their primary focus. of course, Rolex realizes that the price appreciation on the secondary market is helping to fuel demand from ADs. But on the other hand, Rolex, if Rolex could release another 3 GMTs this year, as long as they will sell them all, they will do it. Or it doesn't, as long as they can sell them all and not hurt the overall standing of the brand or of that reference.
Well, and you still can't buy a newer Batman. You know, the Batman that are going for 12 right now are from 8 years ago. You know, they're older. Some of them don't have any papers. So I mean, if you actually want a newer Batman, not a Batgirl, but a newer Batman, you still got to pay 15 for it.
Insane.
So I mean, they've hit their peak, like you just said, Clivers. How big can a bubble get? You know, so it's hit its peak and it's maturing. Maybe that's a good way to say it. It's maturing a little bit. The market's maturing.
Stabilizing.
Yeah.
Because they can't, like I said, they can't go infinitely. I mean, it's not like Archie'd be able to go up to someone 5 years from now with this Polar Explorer and say, trade you for your house.
Hey, you know what, Sue? Last time we were on here, I saw that you asked about a particular watch, but we didn't see the question. If you want to pose the question about that watch again, I'd be happy to answer it.
I don't think that's a real female. I think that's someone making fun of my steak making practices.
Oh, okay.
It's actually SOUSVIDE. Yes.
We do have a lot of female subscribers, just so you guys know, in case you ever thought about it and were wondering if you ever wondered, and you might want to consider what you're typing and not typing in the chat box, just so you know, because I get it every day. It tells me who's subscribing of the people who allow themselves to be seen. And something must have happened on the YouTube recommendation list, because for about 2 weeks, there was about a dozen women subscribing every single day. And then it stopped. So I'm not sure where it came from exactly. It's kind of odd.
That's probably Garbage Fire changing your avatar to stalk me every
yeah.
other.
Some of them were a little crazy looking, but a lot of them were cool. Right, Bud?
I don't know. I'm not sure that was all I don't know what the deal was with that.
Okay.
And then Hotzi just left after sous vide left. So
no, I figured they're here to see Victor. Howdy.
Archie, Don, and Mark are female subs.
Sous vide is insulted, Mr. Wrangler. You arrogant SOB.
I was trying to think of work Breitling into the, but never mind. I'm just too tired. Too low. I had a divorce case take all day, so.
I kind of had a rough day today too. This has kind of became a loose stream. To be honest, I had a really tight mindset on this, but I had to go think and work all day, and I'm kind of pooped.
Oh yeah.
But okay. So when we look at these Rolex graphs per watch, but we also, complement the charting with our own personal watch knowledge. For example, here's the Batman presented in front of you, and we know the situation revolving around the Batman is such that it had to share market share with the new GMTs, and that's the reason why there's that's so we can explain this chart here.
Well, why does it say up there purchase price $10,129?
That's how much I bought mine for. That's the retail plus tax. Okay, so on all these watches, I put in MSRP plus tax.
Okay. I only ever was successful getting one watch on chrono and selling it, and that was the Grand Seiko, and it just happened to be a very popular Grand Seiko. But I've submitted a couple watches, and them take forever to get back, and by the time they come back and they approve it a month later, I've already sold them. So I don't really like chrono.
Oh, I got you.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't happen quick enough for you.
Takes them a month or 3 weeks to turn around and approve you. Yeah.
You know, for somebody like me who takes an hour to a year to decide to sell a watch, a year to list it, and a year to sell it, it would probably be perfect for me.
Well, that's why I was asking you: is there a time valuation on when these watches sell? Because yeah, you would love that, and for me, once I decide, I usually just wind up doing it.
That's not a bad idea. Who said? Why don't you start a watch channel, Hotzi? I bet that would be a hit.
Wine. Oh my God! Wine, women, and watches. There you go. You're welcome.
Winos.
No, wine, women, and watches.
So what else? What else? So I think I think the fear is kind of put aside us now. I don't think we need to worry about this whole Rolex, the value of our watches. I don't know how close to MSRP you guys are on yours, but I got some pretty good cushion built into mine.
Well, if I would have not panicked last month, I probably wouldn't have sold the 3 that I sold. But either way, you got to move on. You can't worry about it too much.
So when I look at some of my watch values, it's pretty interesting to see that it shows my Doxa is at face value. And I guess the average Universal Geneve is going for about that price, maybe. I guess it depends on what you're looking at, quality, color, but that's what it came up with, the average Universal Geneve, which is about what I paid for mine. And then it's showing the listings for the Calatravas, which that looks fair, 16.6 for Box and Paper Calatrava, you know? The Daytona, that's a little high because I put in brand new, unworn. So I wanted to see what the price was. Brand new, unworn.
Howdy from Texas just said.
That's what I was laughing about.
So
honestly, I almost think we could just do a live stream channel. We don't say anything and we just watch them.
Yeah, just read the comments.
All right. Oh, by the way, Rich, did you get that link to Zebra Corner I sent you?
Yeah, probably. Hotzi, I don't know nothing about watches either, you know? So.
Yeah, Hotzi, it's really just about getting on and bullshitting.
Well, no, it's about the journey, though. And okay, I have to admit this. I almost think Crafty Luxury has a brilliant idea of basically starting from nothing and looking at everything.
Right.
It's funny. I think Hotzi said one time, "Why do you guys watch Archie?" And then Bud replied and said, "Because he's the pontiff and we are his sheep."
Sous Vide just said these classless men would never buy a watch for their women. They probably buy flowers at Safeway.
Okay.
Are you sure that's not a woman? Because that sounds like something a woman would say.
Let me address that. Number one, it's Homeland now. Number two, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Well, you know, you go from the first from the time you're like 16 to 30, ordering flowers and paying high dollar for them. By the time you hit a certain age, you're just like, yeah, Safeway is a good rose. That's the way I felt about it too. So I agree, Sue.
The only thing that came up here that showed a price decline was the sub dates on the bluesy, which that's not the same bluesy that I have, but that's just your standard bluesy.
It's called sous vide. It's called bang per buck.
And then these Daytonas here.
The Hulk is still punching strong.
Yeah, they're all still punching pretty strong, my man. You know, but hey, if you're looking to buy a watch, I think the heat's off, and there might be a little. I don't think you have to worry about running after a watch because the price is running away from you now, like before. That was the problem. I bought half a dozen watches in the last year because the prices were running away from me, and I didn't want to get caught out of the without a couple of these watches that I wanted really bad, like the Daytona. That one specifically. This one specifically, I paid $14,700 for mine.
I'm gonna step away from the laptop here for just a second. Pardon me, guys.
Go ahead.
There's the 1 year on it. So I bought mine right around this time here. I mean, I bought it for much lower than this. So yeah. Any watches you guys want to look up, or we're good?
I would be interested.
What women's watches she wants to look up?
I was gonna say I'd be interested to know what Sous Vide has or likes or wants to see.
So what else we got here?
But I was telling you about the Jaeger-LeCoultre, the blue. I don't know. Somebody showed some interest in that when I said that. I think it was in something. Let's see here. They know exactly what I was talking about, but it's a limited blue Polaris. And I told you I almost bought it the other day, but yeah, and something knew what it was.
So here's a fair assessment of the Rolex Daytonas. $18,000. That's what I'm seeing up here, right, guys? 17,950. That's what I'm seeing.
Some of them are still really high too. Like there's one there for 32.
I mean, are they going to take an offer at 17,950? What do you think you can really get this for? 17? 16,500? What do you think realistically?
16.
You think $2,000 off?
Well, there's some of that's at 17 there. I think the guy's at 17.6 right there. I think he might take 16.5.
I think 16.5 they would probably go because there's an awful lot of them at the same price. I don't know if they would budge on it. They're not going to budge much on a Daytona.
Yeah, I mean,
they'd rather have it sit there for another month.
These guys that have new old stock that are 32, they're not. They're going to probably wind up keeping them because they're not selling them cheap.
They're going to keep those, and you know what they're going to do? They're going to get $50,000 for those at auction.
Right. They'll put them back in the bank for a while longer.
They'll get their money at auction. Hey, let me bring up another topic for you. When you ship your watches, what happens if it gets lost? Any of you guys ship watches? What happens if your watch gets lost?
Shipping a watch is the most stressful thing that you can do.
I want to know what your situation is if that happens. Do you know?
No, I usually
Because I kind of know. I did some research, and I want to know what you guys think or know compared to what I found out.
I insure them for as much as I can, and then
From who?
Well, look, guys, there's only one reliable and safe way to ship a watch, especially international. That is Archie's anus.
Mm-hmm.
and there's plenty of room.
The Howdy,
That's
Howdy,
why-
if you're talking about the Daytona Howdy, it was probably no box and no papers. That kills the price. 16.8. Let me see if I can find that one he was talking about. I mean, do you use FedEx, UPS?
Yeah, I use FedEx.
Okay, so let me give you the dibs on FedEx. Oh, here's the one he's saying 16,800. Oh, you know what? That's a good one, Howdy. That's because it's a private seller,
Mhm.
and he's taking a little bit of a cut on it because doesn't
He
want to
wants
sell
to
it to a dealer.
He wants to sell it. Yeah.
He wants to sell it. Let me share that one. Let me share that one real quick, Mr. Howdy.
Howdy from Texas said FedEx myself. I don't know, Howdy. Shouldn't you like get an airline ticket instead?
So this is a great watch. I paid, but I got mine before the jump. I would pay 16.8 again for this watch. So it's a couple of thousand more than what
And
I
it's
paid.
reserved. It's reserved right away. If you see.
Yeah, I mean, it's got box and papers, mint condition, stickers. Yeah, that's a great Daytona, and that's a solid price right there. They're definitely not any lower than what this guy's selling them for. If you're
No,
going to
that's
negotiate with any of those dealers, like you said, Bud, you're going to get it for 16.8, 16.5, like this price, right, Bud?
yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, guys. No, when we're talking about FedEx, not Feds X.
Oh, that changes everything. Okay, so here's the deal with FedEx, bro. When you're sending it FedEx, don't even spend $5 to insure it. Save that for some fast food.
Why is that?
Because they're not going to cover your loss, and you're wasting that money. Because FedEx
Really?
doesn't cover jewelry or watches. Up to $1,000 is all they'll cover.
Somebody else told me that, so I'm never gonna sell a watch again that
So
way. So
it's 100%. So here's the deal with shipping watches. There is no carrier that will give you insurance, and there's no way to insure a watch that you're shipping. It's impossible. If you come up with any ideas, I'll shoot them down, because it's impossible to ship a watch and insure it, because nobody is going to underwrite an insurance policy for one day for your watch for one time for one shipment. It's not something that exists.
well, that's really
That makes sense though, right?
yeah, but it doesn't make me feel good. Now I have to sell to people that's right here on top of
It,
me.
it, it might make sense if they charge you $500 to ship it, or $1,000 to ship it. Then it could be a lucrative business for somebody to do. But are you going to spend $500 or $1,000 to ship a $10,000 watch? Maybe.
Yeah,
But
I've spent $200 to ship a watch, thinking that I'm getting insurance.
so that's the situation. So here's the other situation. If you have a business,
Mm-hmm.
and you can use a business account to open up an account. You need to open up a commercial account with a specific type of insurer that will ship jewelry, and they're out there. I found them. They're the same companies that Roman would use, Paul Thorpe would use, any of those guys would use, because how do they do it? They use
So
these
when
special companies, but these companies won't do anything for you or me because we're individuals selling one watch. And we have no history, we have no credit worthiness for them. We're not gonna. They won't do it for us.
Everyone is saying Parcel Pro on the live stream comments.
Yeah, Parcel Pro.
So when Frederico sends me a label
Uh-huh.
and I put it on my box and I send it back to him, there's no insurance on there?
When he's sending you the watch, you don't want to
No.
send it. You don't want to send him the watch. You need to use his call tag to get that watch to him, so it's covered under his policy.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. I always have them send me a invoice and then
Uh-huh.
and then a sticker, and I use their sticker.
Right. Who said Parcel Pro?
Several people.
Yeah.
Okay.
McKinley
So
Stevens.
so check it out, bud. So Parcel Pro is, I opened an account with them today.
Okay.
So I got a hold of them last week. But you can't open an account unless you have. Well, I don't know. You have to have your own business, and so I had to happen. I had to complete an application, provide my existing shipping account numbers that I have with my existing carriers.
Does it have
I had to provide my corporate my company tax ID. I had to provide references.
Does it have to be a jewelry business or any business?
You know, man. When they called me after they took my application, they just were straight, very simple about what they asked me, and I just was very simple answer back. They said, "What are you shipping?" I said, "Watches." They said, "Okay." I just answered their questions, yes and no. Do you need to ship anything today? I said no. You know, they might think I'm some big shipper or something. And so I just they said, "Okay, your account's set up. We're going to email you your account information, your account number." And I have all that now. So now I can ship a freaking watch when I sell one to somebody, and mine's going to be insured.
So N something says that they are actually part of FedEx and that they are used for small jewelers.
Yeah, they're a UPS company.
Yeah.
And they said they will use, I can use UPS or FedEx through them, but UPS is cheaper because they're a UPS company. But you know, like I said, you have to have a business. They're gonna check it out. They're gonna, you know. So I used my business email, my business address, all my business contacts, legitimately. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't sure if I was gonna get an account because I'm not in the business of jewelry. Like, what the hell? I got the account. I got the account.
By the way, can you guys, if anybody listens normally, can you hear if I sound better than what I usually do?
You do. You sound a lot better.
Okay.
No, FedEx doesn't, brother. I went to FedEx. I called my account people there. I don't think so. Not that I know of. You know, at least not that I know of. But
that's interesting. Thanks, Howdy. Thanks, Blue. That's interesting, and it scares me because I've sent a couple of things FedEx.
right,
And
right.
thankfully they went through.
Well, you know, I put the sub up for sale, and then the next thing I said to myself is, well, if somebody actually wants it, what am I going to do?
Right.
I said, let me go to the next step as though somebody says, send it to me. And so the next step for me was contacting the carrier to make sure I protect my asset.
Right. Right.
You know, because I mean, fuck, if it comes out lost, you know, I mean, I'd have to give the person their money back, and I'm going to have to make a claim. I'm not going to, you know, I'm going to do whatever is appropriate. But if I have it properly insured, I don't need to worry. I don't need to worry.
Well, it's funny because I got a little bit of a story. So I sold a watch to Frederico, right? Or no, yeah, I've sold a couple to him, but the first one I sold him was the Hulk, and it was the very first time I thought about selling the Hulk. And I dropped the package off at the UPS. I got home and I panicked and wished I wouldn't have did it. So I drove all the way back. It was like Saturday night, and I got into the UPS before it closed, and there was one guy there. And I said, I accidentally sent the wrong thing. I need to get my box, and I know he's not supposed to do it.
No.
And it's a small town, and he basically just said, I said, oh, there's.
Oh, no. It's okay. It's a private carrier, dude. They do that shit at the post office, though.
Is it? Okay. Well, he gave me the box back, but then the box had already been scanned as being sent. So I got the watch back. I put it in my thing. Frederico calls me freaking out, saying, "Oh my God, the box shows that it was scanned at your local store, and it's not there. Nobody knows where it's at." And I said, "No, I got it back." And he was so relieved that I got it back. So it makes me wonder whether or not he had it insured, or not.
Yeah, I would always ask, man.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna end up getting the short end of that stick if that shit's not insured. He ain't gonna be your friend in that situation.
Yep, all of you guys. That's the thing. So
Always make sure and somebody was telling me, man, don't worry about insuring it. It's scanned. Everything's barcoded. I said, bro, no, you're crazy. You're out of your mind. That thing could just bounce right out of the truck. Into someone else's trunk.
Or some guy driving having a bad day.
Out of this.
What'd you say, Clive?
I wonder what happened to Victor.
Mark Yusupov out of this. Sorry, the joke is he's always buying Pateks out of car trunks. He's Russian.
Oh. Let me see here.